Well, there's another hearing set for Wednesday, but today we heard more testimony from those in the former president's inner circle who said they repeatedly tried to convince him the 2020 election was not stolen, but that Donald Trump was relentless in his mission to prove otherwise.
The early claims that I understood were completely bogus.
Former Attorney General Bill Barr, in his own words, slamming claims by former President Donald Trump about a stolen 2020 election.
But he generally was a weak element on the Republican ticket, so that does not suggest that the election was stolen by fraud.
In its second day of hearings, the House panel investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection presented videotaped testimony from hundreds of closed-door interviews conducted over the past year to detail their belief that President Trump knew he had lost the election, but engaged in a dangerous plot to spread false information that eventually led to the Capitol riots.
Fake election. They think they're going to cheat us out of our vote.
Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and other Trump aides also testified that they opposed Rudy Giuliani's assertions that the voting process was rigged. New testimony showed some of Trump's closest advisors didn't support the conspiracy theories that circulated. For example, that dead people had voted and that voting machines in some states were incorrectly processing ballots.
I guess the crooks in Philadelphia are disappointed in this. They only submitted 8,021 ballots from dead people.
They never proved the allegations that they were making, and they were trying to develop.
Similar to the first hearing last week, the committee is trying to show that Trump knew he lost the election, but continued with a, quote, stolen election narrative by spreading these false claims when it became clear he didn't have enough votes to win the election.
He lost, but he betrayed the trust of the American people.
Former Philadelphia City Commissioner Al Schmidt also testified about how Trump supporters threatened to kill him and his family after the former president blasted him on Twitter for not pushing the election fraud claims.
After the president tweeted at me by name, calling me out the way that he did, the threats became much more specific, much more graphic, and included not just me by name, but included members of my family by name, their ages, our address, pictures of our home.
Now, as for Wednesday's hearing, it's expected to focus on more evidence that the committee said will paint an even broader picture of Donald Trump's role in the Capitol riots. That's the very latest in the newsroom. I'm Corrine Winter. We'll send it back to you in the studio.